Every woman desires a good husband. The hard truth is that there are some types of men you should never marry. It's easy to overlook things that may not seem that big of a deal while dating, but these things could be destructive patterns once married. But love doesn't have to be blind. Here are 12 types of men you should never ever marry. We don't care how much you love him, how prayerful he is, how handsome he is, or how rich he is, don't marry him. 1. A man without ambition. Marriage is a lifetime contract, and I'm sure you won't sign up with a man who doesn't know where he is going. He just quit his job, stayed at home a lot, and whiled away the hours on his video games. He has no plans for his life. Ladies, if he's not going anywhere in life, look him straight in the eyes and tell him he's not going anywhere with you either. Our advice to you would be to move on from this type of guy, and find someone who knows exactly what their purpose is. Never ever marry a man without ambition. 2. A man who doesn't fear God. By wisdom, a house is built, and the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. A man has a responsibility to father you, and your children. He is the leader and the head of the family. Marry a man that would build you in the fear of God and cultivate you to be better. 3. The addict. Addictive to alcohol, drugs, or pornography will lead to destruction. And though your relationship may seem to challenge him in the right direction, don't be fooled that he'll so quickly give it all up for you, without the aid and accountability of professional help. You are not the one to set him free, and your role is not to try to change him. Only God can. 4. The abuser. You are worth far too much to be abused by anyone. Move quickly away from anyone who brings you physical, verbal, or deep emotional harm. Marriage is built on deep love and respect, and this is most certainly no way to begin. See the warning signs for what they are. On the other hand, my dear sisters, avoid anything that will lead to these. The abusive man can show up in many forms: physical, emotional, or psychological abuse. Regardless of the type, abuse is never okay. If a man belittles you, controls you, hurts you, or makes you feel small and unworthy, he is not the right one. A loving partner should never cause you fear or harm. You should feel safe, respected, and cherished in your relationship. No amount of apologies or promises can justify abusive behavior. It's essential to recognize these signs and get out of the situation. 5. The controller. This man will dominate and strive to make every decision for you, decide who you should spend time or who you should no longer see. Marrying a control freak shouldn't even be an option. The only people that can help them are professionally trained therapists. You should just move on. 6. The hot-tempered man. A man who cannot control his temper before you're married will most certainly be a man who cannot control his temper after you're married. In most cases, it will worsen. No matter what our personality type, it still doesn't give us room to plow over anyone in our pathway with harsh words and rants. Take time in different scenarios to see how he responds, especially under pressure. 4. The mama's boy. Let me first mention this. We do not mean that someone who loves his mother and cares for his mother is terrible. In fact, it's a big turn. However, there must be a rule, a limit. Every little thing cannot be done except according to his mother. Imagine that the man asks his mother what to wear or what to eat, or to continually talk to the phone when he is with you. When the guy you're dating still has every bill paid by his parents, they control every decision he makes, and he cares more about what mama thinks than what you think, struggle is ahead. You've heard the saying, The way a man treats his mother is a strong indicator of how he will treat his partner, right? However, there's a fine line between respecting one's mother and being a mama's boy. Perpetual mama's boys are men who, no matter how old they get, still rely heavily on their mothers for decision-making, emotional support, and sometimes, even basic chores. Imagine this scenario: you've made dinner plans together, but he cancels at the last minute because his mom has cooked his favorite dish. Or, worse, you're trying to plan your future, but his mom's opinions carry more weight than yours. In the long run, this kind of dynamic can cause rifts in your relationship. You don't just marry the man, you marry his family too. However, the family shouldn't become a third wheel in your relationship. A strong, independent man should be able to stand his ground, respect his mother, and simultaneously prioritize his partner's feelings. 8. The liar. We all lie sometimes, but it becomes very serious when it is rampant. So what about those little white lies you started noticing along the way? In reality, there's no such thing as little white lies. Any lie is meant to hide, deceive, or manipulate truth. There is no room for dishonesty in a healthy, loving relationship. It's a dangerous trap, and you will always be left wondering what he's hiding. 9. The workaholic. This guy is great, hardworking and successful, but his work constantly takes priority over you. He's always traveling and canceling dates. Every time you ask him to come and meet your parents, somehow work gets in the way. If you marry him, he's going to take care of you financially, but you will be dissatisfied in so many other ways. 10. A man who hates his family. Our parents can get on our nerves sometimes, but it does not mean to cut your parents off from your life. The family is where we were born and raised, and we cannot forget our family. Remember, a man who has forgotten his parents can quickly forget you in a day or two. If he hates his parents, then he will not be able to behave around your family. He will not be a family man. 11. An immature man. Nothing can be more frustrating than being in a relationship with a man who is immature and indecisive. Immaturity is a clear sign of emotional instability. It is sometimes not about age but the state of mind. He never accepts his mistakes. Instead, he resorts to point fingers at everyone. My dear sister, never marry a man who is immature and cannot take decision on his own. 12. The broke. The next thing God gave man after putting him in the garden was work. Genesis 2:15. God gave man work before giving him a woman. That means a man needs a job before he gets a woman. A woman is to help the man, and if the man is not working, what is the woman coming to do? Does he hate working? Does he spend all of his money on frivolous things? Whatever the case, you probably do not want to marry someone who can't hold on to his money. It is much smarter to marry someone who is financially stable. This does not mean you should only marry rich. This means you should marry responsibly. Listen, we all have our share of financial ups and downs. It's normal. What's not normal, however, is a man who consistently shows signs of financial irresponsibility. The financially irresponsible man could have an unending stream of debt, a careless attitude towards saving, or a tendency to splurge impulsively without thinking about consequences. While you might be drawn to his spontaneous, carefree lifestyle initially, this recklessness can lead to serious problems in the future. According to research, money issues are among the top reasons for conflict in marriages. Remember, when you marry someone, your financial lives become entwined. Hence, it's important to be with someone who understands the value of money, can balance spending and saving, and is willing to plan for a shared future. 13. The chronic cheater. This one's a red flag on fire. If he has a history of being unfaithful, or worse, if he has cheated on you, beware. Don't brush this off as a mere mistake or a one-time thing. This speaks volumes about his character and attitude towards relationships. Cheating is a choice, not a mistake. It signifies a lack of respect, trust, and commitment, all crucial elements of a strong, lasting marriage. You might think you can change him or that he will change for you, but remember, old habits die hard. Without a serious commitment to change and actions that back up that promise, you could be setting yourself up for repeated heartbreak. Trust your gut. Trust the patterns, not empty promises. If he cheated once, it might happen again. You deserve a partner who cherishes your relationship enough not to risk it. Choosing the right partner is a deeply personal decision that relies on many factors. The first and foremost is a strong foundation of respect, love, and shared values. Your partner should make you feel safe, loved, and valued. He should respect your individuality and support your personal growth. Additionally, look for someone who is willing to communicate openly and work through problems together. Life isn't always sunshine and roses. It's full of challenges. The right man will be someone who can weather these challenges with you, who is willing to invest time and effort into resolving conflicts, and who makes a conscious effort to understand and meet your needs. Moreover, shared life goals are important. Whether it's about having children, where you want to live, or your career paths, having compatible life goals can make navigating the future together much easier. Remember, no one is perfect. It's about finding the person whose strengths balance your weaknesses and vice versa. The right man is one who wants to grow with you, learn with you, and build a future together, not someone who fits a cookie-cutter ideal of the perfect husband. How can I spot these types of men early in the relationship? Great question. Early signs can sometimes be subtle, but if you pay attention, you can spot them. For instance, the chronic cheater might be overly secretive about his phone or spend a lot of time with friends you've never met. The perpetual mama's boy could frequently reference his mother's opinions or decisions, even in unrelated contexts. And the financially irresponsible man might frequently run into money troubles or make impulsive, expensive purchases. Paying attention to his behavior, how he treats others, and how he handles challenges can reveal these tendencies. What if I'm already married and realize my husband falls into one of these categories? It's never too late to address these issues. The first step is open communication. Discuss your concerns honestly and clearly. Sometimes, people aren't aware of their behavior until it's pointed out to them. If he's willing to change and works towards it, that's a good sign. However, if he dismisses your concerns or refuses to change, it might be time to consider professional help like marriage counseling or therapy. You have the right to feel loved, respected, and secure in your relationship. Since marriage is a long journey, the foundation is very significant. Never assume he will change when you get married. If he can't change now, I'm sorry, he may not change later, it may even worsen. While nobody is perfect, some behaviors are clear red flags. Remember, the goal isn't to find a flawless man, but a man who respects, loves, and cherishes you. A man who is willing to grow, change, and build a shared future with you. Don't settle for anything less.